What is the meaning of a vision, especially one so strange, so luminous, that it lingers across centuries, beckoning each new generation to stand in awe at its threshold? When a man lays his head upon a stone, alone and uncertain, and glimpses wonders that seem too great for mortal understanding, what message does heaven impart? Not to him only, but to all who follow, seeking the stairway between earth and the realm of God. Behold Jacob's ladder, a dream of ascending paths, radiant messengers, and a voice from the highest heights. To understand its meaning, we return to the midnight wilderness, walking softly on the ancient sands, attentive to every sacred whisper. Between dusk and dawn, between promise and uncertainty, between fear and hope, Jacob dreamed. And through that dream, we are invited to marvel, to question, and to draw near to the divine. Let us journey back, then, to Genesis. The scroll is opened. The lamps are lit. Let us travel the long and lonely road with Jacob and consider together what spiritual truths lie hidden in the vision of the ladder, the angels, and the words of God spoken from above. What message was spoken for Jacob, yet echoes still, awaiting ears that will listen and hearts ready to climb? The scene unfolds beneath a vast, open sky. The sun has set behind distant hills. Night's chill settles on the stony earth. Jacob, son of Isaac, grandson of Abraham, walks alone, his sandals dusty, his heart heavy with the memory of home, the uncertainty of exile, and the weight of a blessing received by cunning, now shadowed by fear. He flees from Esau, his brother, whose anger smolders. Every step takes him further from Beersheba, his childhood home, and toward Haran, a land unknown, a future unwritten. Genesis 28, verse 10, we read, Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. Pause a moment here. This certain place goes unnamed, ordinary, and yet charged with secret import. In Hebrew, the word is makom, a place, yes, but also a possible hint at presence. Alone, Jacob lays his head upon an unyielding stone. In the silence of the night, there is little to remind him of covenant or comfort. He is neither at home nor arrived, caught in the in-between. Yet it is here, neither here nor there, neither awake nor asleep, that heaven will open. Now, let us let our imagination rest gently on this sleeping figure. The wilderness is silent save for the sigh of wind in wild grass. The stars blink in cold watchfulness above. What thoughts drift through Jacob's mind? Regret, perhaps, longing, anxiety. His journey is not noble, not yet. He is not a patriarch in fullness, but a man in flight, wrestling, as so many of us do, with fractured family, uncertain destiny, and the ache of loneliness. And then it happens, a dream. But this is no ordinary fragment of sleep. The scriptural words shimmer. He had a dream in which he saw a staircase set up on the earth with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. Let us pause. Can you picture it? The stone beneath Jacob's head dissolves. The earth seems to recede. A ladder, or perhaps a grand staircase. Salam in Hebrew, a word found nowhere else in all scripture, rises up from the ground, its base rooted in the soil of the mundane, but its summit disappearing into the brilliance above. On this connecting bridge, radiant, awe-inspiring beings ascend and descend, not randomly, but with purposeful movement. messengers passing between realms, linking the seen to the unseen. Consider the wonder. Heaven is not distant, sealed off from the sorrow and striving of the sleeper. Instead, a connection, a path, opens between the frailty of earth and the holiness of above. What might it mean, this vision in the night, of stairways and angels and the nearness of God himself? Before speculation, let us stay close to the divine narration. For above the ladder, as Jacob gazes in awe, there stands the Lord himself. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and your descendants. The words ring out in the hush, a promise ancient yet renewed. God identifies himself by covenant, by relationship, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. The blessing is specific, anchored in the history of a family, a people, and a land. The land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring. Your descendants will be as the dust of the earth. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. But there is more. Words not only of land and lineage, but of presence. Behold, I am with you, and will watch over you wherever you go. What hope, what comfort for the exile, for the dreamer who fears he is alone, abandoned, perhaps even pursued by righteous anger and uncertainty. God speaks, unbroken and sure. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Press close to this ancient pledge. It is tenderness wrapped in mighty assurance. Jacob, who was deceived, who has fled, now hears what perhaps he least expects. Not rebuke, but reassurance. A ladder reaches to heaven, and the heart of God descends along with it. When Jacob awakens, trembling in awe, he utters words that hang like incense in the morning air. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. He rises early, takes the stone that had been his pillow, and sets it upright as a pillar. He pours oil, a symbol of consecration, over its top, marking the site as sacred. He names it Bethel, the house of God. What had been wilderness is now a locus of wonder, a threshold where divine and human touch. Let us now reverently dwell with this vision. What have we seen? A lone man, a stone, a dream, a stair, ascending angels, and the voice of I am. But what is the meaning of Jacob's ladder, this bridge between worlds? What does it teach us, then and now? In its first layer, the vision is a sacred reassurance to Jacob. He is not forsaken. The promise to Abraham and Isaac is rekindled, now entrusted to a frightened, flawed wanderer. Even in exile, God's plan is unfolding, and the place of encounter can be the most unlikely patch of earth. Yet, in the movement of the angels, diligent and continual, we glimpse a deeper mystery. Why this ceaseless traffic between heaven and earth? The angels ascend first, not descend, as some commentators note. Could it be that the hosts of God are always present, watching, ready to report above even before new orders are dispatched below? It is as if heaven is attentive to every subtle shift on earth, and the affairs of mortals never pass unnoticed or unaccompanied. Let us remember, the vision is not only visual, but verbal. The God who names himself is the God who keeps covenant through generations. The promise given to Abraham, sometimes threatened by human frailty, survives. It meets Jacob at his lowest, affirming that even our most imperfect chapters can be cradles for divine promise. But step back now and let the vision expand. Could the ladder signify more than an assurance for Jacob alone? Throughout the centuries, Jewish sages and Christian fathers alike have pondered its meaning. Is this not, in symbolic language, the mystery of divine accessibility? The heavens are not sealed beyond our reach. God's world and ours are not eternally sundered, but intimately joined, if only for a fleeting, holy moment. In Jewish tradition, Salam, ladder, has been seen as the temple itself, the place where heaven and earth meet in sacrifice and prayer. The rungs are said to represent the generations of Israel, the rise and fall of nations, the pilgrimage of the soul in ascent toward God. The angels, some propose, are guardians of Jacob, or the ambassadors of God's care for exiles and dreamers everywhere. In later Christian imagination, Jacob's ladder unfurls a still broader vista. In the Gospel of John, Jesus refers directly to this vision when he says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, you will see heaven opened, and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." In this, some discern that the ladder is, in the deepest sense, Christ himself, the ultimate bridge, the mediating presence, fully human and fully divine, reaching from earth's lowliest stone to the very heart of God. Yet let us not rush too quickly to allegory, nor confine heaven's message to any one image. The vision stands in all its strangeness and beauty as invitation. God reaches down when we are most afraid, most uncertain, most alone, and opens a way. Stones of regret can become pillars of hope. Exile can be sanctified into communion. Let us reflect, too, upon the symbolism of the stone. Jacob's pillow, hard, unyielding, taken from the dust of the ground, becomes an altar, anointed and upright. In the ancient world, stones marked places of memory, of divine encounter. Here, where Jacob expected only hardship, there is the beginning of a sanctuary. The idea reverberates. Every place, every season, barren or blessed, holds the possibility of Bethel, the surprise of God's nearness. Jacob's response is humble, even trembling. He vows not as a bargain, but in awed devotion. If God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey, and if I return safely, then the Lord will be my God, and this stone will be God's house. He pledges 1/10 of all he receives, marking his gratitude in tangible service. Pause and ponder. The spiritual truth is not simply that visions come to the saintly and sure, but to the wandering and weary. The ladder is revealed to the one who fled, not the one who arrived. The messengers of God descend into the night of confusion, blessing the threshold of every exile. Why angels ascending and descending so vividly, so continuously? Perhaps it is to show that spiritual life is not a solitary journey. Our prayers, our tears, our journeys are attended by the presence of God's hosts. Each step, each dream, each stone we rest upon is known and noticed. Can we draw near, in reverent speculation, to the idea that the ladder is also the shape of ongoing revelation, the way in which God's world and ours overlap in every act of mercy, every word of promise, every moment we sense the sacred in the ordinary? Scripture does not say, and so we must tread softly, honoring the dignity of mystery. Let us now, in a spirit of gentle awe, stand before the story's climax, the fusion of vision, promise, and worship. Jacob, awakened, is forever changed. He carries Bethel within him, an interior sanctuary. Though his struggles have not ceased, though his journey continues, He knows now that no place is God-forsaken, that the stones of our struggle, laid down in sorrow, can become thresholds of encounter. What then is the spiritual truth at the heart of Jacob's dream? It is, perhaps, that heaven touches earth, not because the sleeper is worthy or ready, but because the divine is always seeking, always near. The ladder is not built from below, but sent from above. We do not climb our way to God's favor. Rather, God descends in mercy, setting every stone, every moment, as a potential gate of heaven. In the ancient Jewish mind, such visions linger, not as puzzles to be solved, but as wells to draw from again and again. The temple, with its ascending steps and holy, holy of holies, was seen as a reflection of the ladder's mystery. The prophets in later ages would recall this story as evidence that exile is never without promise. The early Christian imagination, as noted, sees in this story a foreshadowing, the way of Christ, the ladder by which humanity is drawn upward, and God descends to our need. Yet, even apart from such readings, the vision's heart remains. Assurance, presence, transformation. The wilderness as sanctuary, the stone as altar. Even now, as the vision's light begins to fade, as Jacob sets his face to the sunlit road that winds onward, the story asks lingering questions. Where are the certain places in our own journey where we have mistaken mere barrenness for spiritual desolation, not knowing that God is in truth near? Where are the stones, heavy, unyielding, which may yet become the pillars of encounter in our lives? In what moments of exile, regret, uncertainty might heaven break open, and angels descend and ascend, silently bearing witness to our fears and hopes? Jacob's ladder is not merely a relic of the past. It is a testament, again and again, to the God who speaks in dreams and darkness, the God who turns fleeing into pilgrimage, stones into sanctuaries, and fear into trust. Let us not be too eager to resolve the mystery, nor to close the sacred distance with easy answers. There remains at the heart of the story a holy invitation. Walk softly, light your lamp, wait by your stone. The gate of heaven may open where you least expect, if only you have eyes to see and the courage to name your Bethel. As we ponder the meaning behind Jacob's ladder dream, let us honor the silences of Scripture, the shadowed spaces between the lines where wonder dwells. Perhaps the vision is less a map than a signpost. Heaven's nearness, God's faithfulness, the ongoing traffic of prayer and promise between mortal and immortal worlds. Surely the Lord is in this place, in every place, and we know it not. May the peace of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob attend you on your journey. May every wilderness become, in time, a new Bethel, and may you, too, hear the whisper of heaven's promise, rising from stone and dream alike. We invite you, beloved seeker, to share your own reflections, your wondering, your questions, your meditations on the meaning of Jacob's vision in the space below. What has this story opened in you? Where has God met you in your journey? And what stones have become pillars? If you wish to continue journeying into the mysteries and wonders of sacred Scripture, we welcome you to join us. Subscribe, listen, and linger with us as we explore the hidden paths of ancient faith. Until we meet again, may the ladder from heaven watch over you. May every exile be attended by promise, and may the blessing of the Ancient of Days rest upon your soul. Peace be unto you.